This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. It's your Monday. We hope you had a nice weekend, given all of the circumstances, certainly in this country. I'm Bill Bryant. It's good to have you with us.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Right now at 6:30, it's become the worst mass shooting in U.S. history. We'll have a look at how the Lexington community gathered to honor victims.
A shooting involving a Kentucky state trooper is under investigation this morning. We'll have the latest details coming in on that just ahead.
And an investigation underway after a Lexington apartment caught fire overnight.
It's a good-looking start to the day as that front moves on through. No chance of rain today as lower humidity values come creeping on in. And then we hit the next couple of days, a nicer feel. For the next couple of days, here comes the heat, and also here comes some storms. I'm going to show you if we do have a severe weather threat in the forecast coming up.
Today, more friends and families will learn whether or not their loved ones died in the worst mass shooting in U.S. history.
Agonizing hours certainly are going by. At least 50 people were killed. More than 50 others were hurt when a gunman opened fire in a gay nightclub in Orlando, Florida, very early Sunday morning. Law enforcement officials say the gunman pledged allegiance to the Islamic State. Locally, hundreds gathered at Triangle Park in Lexington last night to mourn the 50 lives lost.
They showed support for the gay community in Lexington and across the nation, really the world. WKYT's Hillary Thornton joins us live with more on the vigil honoring Orlando.
Good morning. That's right. Hours after the mass shooting, hundreds filled Triangle Park here behind me, showing their support, saying that they are determined to not let hate win. It is a tragedy that has rocked our nation, and in the midst of the worst mass shooting in U.S. history, there has been an outpouring of love and support throughout the country, including right here in Kentucky. That support will certainly continue for many days and weeks to come. Last night's vigil in downtown Lexington, bringing folks of all backgrounds together, standing for the LGBTQ community. Many Lexington city leaders were on hand last night to help remember the dozens of lives lost. Lexington is a city that will hold its Pride Festival in just 2 weeks.
And I think the mayor said that with such grace down in Orlando, won't be defined by the tragedy, but the response.
And that response of love and support will continue here in central Kentucky this evening as St. Mark Catholic Church in Richmond is planning a special service to be held tonight at 6, where they will pray for Orlando and remember those lives lost. For now, live in downtown Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Hillary, thank you. The Kentucky Blood Center has partnered with blood centers in Orlando. They're collecting blood for victims still in the hospital there. The One Blood Center in Orlando says they have received such an overwhelming response after people around the country took some time to donate yesterday. Officials from the Orlando Center say donors have already supplied all of the initial blood needs, but they say more will be needed in the days ahead. And all flags at federal buildings will be lowered to half-staff this morning. President Obama called for flags to stay lowered until sunset on Thursday. He's directing the same observance at embassies and U.S. government facilities abroad.
Police in California arrested an Indiana man who they say targeted a gay pride parade. Santa Monica police say Wesley Howell told them that he wanted to hide or harm the gay pride event taking place in Hollywood. That's what he told investigators. Howell is from Jeffersonville and attended Ballard High School in Louisville. Police say 3 assault rifles, several rounds of ammunition, and a bucket of chemicals used to make explosive device found in Howell's car after he was arrested. Investigators say Powell has no ties to the mass shooting in Orlando.
Other news and new this morning, we have learned the name of the man who was shot and killed by a Barron County deputy. It started as a domestic dispute after state police say 61-year-old John Williams shot his wife in the arm.
She fled the scene and was able to flag down a motorist here on Court Hill Road and was able to get a ride down the road to another residence where she was able to call 911.
Police later found Williams in a cemetery, and that's when they say he led them on a chase back to the house where it all started. Once there, they say he fired several shots at Deputy Dean Crumbaugh, who returned fire and killed Williams. Williams' wife was taken to a hospital in Tennessee with non-life-threatening injuries we've just found.
Well, firefighters are trying to figure out what sparked a fire at a Lexington apartment complex overnight.
The crews were able to contain the fire pretty quickly, but residents living in the building have been forced from their homes. WKYT's Mike Byer is live at the scene with more details this morning. Mike?
Good morning, Bill. Several people are without a home this morning after this apartment building right here behind me catches fire. Now, the good news out of all of this is that everyone is okay. Lexington firefighters tell us when they arrived to the Dalton Court Apartments that they saw smoke coming from a vent towards the top of Building 12. They say the fire started in the attic of this building. We're told it was a smoldering fire because of the rafters and insulation in the attic. Firefighters vacuumed out most of the insulation so the fire doesn't restart. Now, no one was hurt in this fire. Firefighters say working smoke detectors played a big part in that.
The smoke detectors had not alerted the occupants in this building. This fire could have gotten more extensive and could have had a heavier workload as far as the structure fire.
Was evacuated. Those people are now staying with family and friends. Firefighters tell us they can return to their home once the city inspector says it is safe to do so. Live in Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Mike, thank you very much. Much of central Kentucky got its first dose of 90-degree weather over the weekend.
Oh, and did it feel like 90 degrees, especially yesterday?
With the humidity as well, right?
Yeah, I tried to go running out in that yesterday, Micah. It was tough.
Yeah, it wasn't that fun, I can tell you that. And look, a lot of people can attest to that, especially from these events this past weekend. We had a lot of big events. But let me tell you this, we'll get a brief break from that nasty feel outside. Live Sky Camera, the experience today will be a good one as we're starting off with plenty of sunshine and also less humid conditions. So a very pleasant morning in store. Get into the afternoon, we'll undergo temperatures right around 85 degrees, but that less humidity, that's the big key for today. Now, that will change in the next few days, guys. We're going to be talking about not only warming temperatures and humidity, but also some storms in the forecast that could bring us that possibility at some severe storms. I'm going to show you when I expect those to move on in, coming up in just about 10 minutes.
Thank you, Micah. We have some new information about an overnight shooting that happened in Lexington. Bill Bryant is at the alert desk with details.
Here's what we know. We have just talked with Lexington police who have finished interviewing the victim at UK Hospital just a few minutes ago. He was shot in a parking lot behind an apartment on Cambridge Drive. That's off for Sales Road. This was about 4 o'clock this morning. He says the suspect punched him in the face before shooting him in the leg. He also told police that he knows the shooter but does not know his name. Police are still looking for the gunman, who they say was wearing all black with a mask covering his face. Rebecca?
All right, thank you. We know more about a shooting that happened in Laurel County. Deputies say a woman and two men went to Trey Hendrick's home on Taylor Bridge Road and assaulted him. They then shot Hendrick in the hip and stole his wallet. Deputies say Hendrick was taken to UK Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. In Southern Kentucky, State Police say two people are dead after a crash involving an ATV and a truck. Troopers say that crash happened over the weekend on South Highway 27 in McCrary County. They have not released the names of the two killed. And the search for a missing man at Taylorsville Lake will continue today in Spencer County. Search crews looking for 48-year-old Zoran Jeftik. The Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife says Jeftik was last seen swimming near the Settlers Trace Marina. They say he was not wearing a life jacket when he entered the water.
A central Kentucky man drowned while swimming in the Licking River over the weekend. Stephen Bell's body was found by search crews yesterday afternoon. Friends told police that Bell went missing Saturday night while they were swimming near the Robinson Dam. Investigators told us there was no indication that he was under the influence of any alcohol or drugs when he jumped. The coroner says Bell's body has now been taken to Frankfort for an autopsy.
A Kentucky basketball player found himself in the wrong end of the law over the weekend. Senior forward Derek Willis was arrested Saturday night in Boone County on a charge of public intoxication. Willis, who turns 21 next week, was released on a $50 bond paid by his mother. UK has not commented on his arrest.
A Lexington businessman will become the newest member of the Fayette County School Board later today. Ray Daniels, who is owner of several area Waffle Houses, will be sworn in during the board's planned meeting this afternoon. Daniels, who is the chairman of the Kentucky Community and Technical College System Foundation, says he plans to bring his business and leadership skills to the job. Daniels is also planning to run for a 4-year term on the board in the November election. 6:40 the time, 20 before 7, Monday morning on WKYT.
Good morning's off to a good start. Let's get a check of traffic.
See what's happening. Here's Officer Don with live drive traffic. Hey, Don.
Hey, good morning. Well, there are no wrecks, and we just checked that debris in the roadway on the inner loop of the circle at Versailles Road. It's blocking part of the right lane, so they're working on clearing that any minute now. Coming in from Nicholasville, it's a straight shot past Brandon Crossing and toward the circle. And as we get an overall look at Lexington traffic flow right now, there are no significant issues to deal with. Drive times holding our own this morning on the north side from Paris Pike, no major issues. And as we look at the Interstate 75, that camera courtesy of Lexington Fayette Urban County Government, we can see it's a beautiful morning there through the split with no problems to report so far. Now back to you in the studio.
Okay, Don, thank you. And you can get the latest traffic and weather information anytime with the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app. Download that for free in the app or Google Play stores. You'll be good to go. Good to have you with us Monday morning. A lot more WKYT this morning is on the way.
Sliding into summer here. So it's a fun way to keep cool. Hey, this looks like it could accomplish that. We'll show you where Slide the City went on and all the fun they had after weather.
Yeah, it's just a touch of lower humidity for today. It's brief, and then we head off towards some storms the next couple of days. So you better enjoy it today. We'll get into that forecast coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Yeah, really nice start out there early this morning. It's going to be a much better feel than what we actually went through this past weekend. This past weekend, it was 90 degrees Saturday, 92 officially here in Lexington on Sunday. That did not work out well for us. But I'll tell you this, at least we didn't see much rain. A couple of us actually saw a couple of rumbles of thunder yesterday, but today, don't expect that. It's 85 degrees later on this afternoon. And not only that, I know the temperature doesn't scream a nice day, but the lower humidity, that's really going to be the case today. It's not so much about temperatures. Yes, they take a dive from this past weekend, but once you deal with that humidity, the lower humidity, that actually helps us out. So if you're heading out to the ball fields later on, if you're grilling out later on, it's perfect, prime weather for it. Then we hit Tuesday. Tuesday off into Wednesday. If you're trying to do pool weather, lake weather, you'll want to do it today because Tuesday off into Wednesday, we actually have chances of rain in the forecast, mainly during the afternoon hours. You'll still be able to do that during the morning hours heading out to the pool or the lake. Afternoon, it's a pretty decent chance of rain, about a 40% chance that we see a couple of rumbles of thunder heading off into the evening too. And then we head off towards your Wednesday. I believe Wednesday is more than likely the better opportunity to see some storms move on in. It's not extremely widespread, but it is there, and that leads me to this, that on Wednesday, this is not today, this is not tomorrow, this is on Wednesday, already a slight risk across the viewing area, central, northern, and western zones. So a marginal risk for everybody, but a slight risk the farther north and west you go. Got to keep that in mind that we do have a severe weather threat in the forecast. We haven't had one in quite some time. So that's going to be on Wednesday. The front moves through actually late Thursday off into early Friday. And look at the temperature difference there. 90 degrees Thursday. We're sitting there at 80 degrees on Friday. So this is going to be a big drop of temperatures heading off towards your Friday into your weekend. But guys, we're looking at 85 degrees today. Like I said, that number is a little bit deceiving. It'll still be a little bit warm this afternoon, but that humidity drops big time, and that's always the key this time if you're heading off into your summer. Tuesday, 40% chance of rain, and then better percentage there on Wednesday. But that weekend looks much better.
Yeah.
I know we still got a lot of events. Remember, this is that time of year those events kick off. And if you're planning those events, if you have those events going on this weekend, good weather.
A little more comfortable.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, much more comfortable. Absolutely.
It's great news.
It's pretty sweltering around here with the temperature, heat, humidity combo.
That's
right.
Yeah.
647 now.
Well, to some, it may seem like we just jumped right into that scorching summer heat. Some kids and even adults found a way to slide back into some cooler temperatures.
Slide the City was being held in Raleigh over the weekend for a 1,000-foot slip and slide. It goes from city to city, and people skid down the street on the slick vinyl there.
It was really cold, and I think it was good that they planned it because it's 100 degrees and it's really hot. My favorite part was when you got to zoom down the hill.
Slide, yeah, there you
go.
Slide the City scheduled to be in Cincinnati later this week. No plans for it necessarily to come to Lexington or Kentucky. The group tried to bring it here last year, but didn't sell enough tickets, which is surprising.
Yeah, but it's just up there across the river if you want to go up in Cincinnati.
It's like fun to me.
Yeah. 648 on WKYT this morning. Good to have you with us, and we'll have some of our top stories coming up next,
Including the latest from Orlando. More news when we return.
And CBS This Morning is coming up shortly at 7. There is what is going to be coming up there, the country mourning with Orlando. And people across the United States, of course, have been gathering for moments of silence, marches of defiance, and some emotional vigils.
Hannah Daniels has a reaction to the gay nightclub shooting that left 50 dead and more than 50 wounded.
A crowd gathered in front of the White House last night, calling for increased tolerance and the end of violence towards the LGBT community and ethnic minorities.
My name is Mikhail Rashid. I am a black gay Muslim. And if you hear Islamophobia, if you hear homophobia in your daily lives, you've got to stand up. You've got to stand up. That's the only way this changes.
While the victims from the Pulse nightclub shooting are slowly being identified, Nicole Hockley can relate in a way many can't. She lost her son Dylan in the mass shooting in Newtown, Connecticut. Hockley has been through the torturous wait.
That wait feels like a lifetime. I mean, I remember when they told me Dylan was one of the 20 children killed, I couldn't believe it, because how could my son be there one moment and gone the next?
Ryan Reyes also understands loss and violence all too well. His boyfriend Daniel was killed in the San Bernardino massacre.
I'm devastated. I mean, anytime something like this happens to our community, it is soul-wrenching.
A somber scene over the city that never sleeps, as the Empire State Building blacked out its lights in honor of those killed. One shining light, the spire at One World Trade Center, was lit in rainbow colors to show solidarity with the LGBT community. Hannah Daniels, CBS News, New York.
Hundreds gathered at Triangle Park last night in Lexington to mourn the 50 lives lost. Community members also showed support for the LGBTQ community here in Lexington and across the nation. City officials, including Mayor Jim Gray, spoke to the crowd and offered words of hope during this tragic time.
For we know, yes, we all know, that freedom and justice and liberty will always prevail over hate and bigotry and prejudice.
The St. Mark Catholic Church in Richmond will be holding a special Mass later this evening to honor the Orlando shooting victims. That Mass will begin at 6 o'clock. The church says anyone who would like to continue showing support is welcome to attend. That is on Main Street in Richmond. Charlie Rose and Gail King will be live in Orlando with the latest developments coming up in just a few minutes on CBS This Morning.
Well, the FBI is investigating an Indiana man who was arrested at a gay pride parade in Santa Monica, California. Police say when they searched his car, they found 3 assault rifles and chemicals used to make explosives. The arrest happened a few hours after the mass shooting in Orlando, but we hear that there is no connection in this. Well, new this morning, an overnight fire at a Lexington apartment complex under investigation happened at Dalton Court Apartments just before 1 a.m. off of Bryan Station Road in East New Circle. Firefighters cut power to the 12-unit complex because the fire was in the attic of the building. Everyone made it out safe, but crews say that people who live there will not be able to return until the building is inspected.
Lexington police are investigating a shooting this morning. The victim was shot in the leg in an apartment on Cambridge Drive off Versailles Road, and police are talking to the man right now at UK Hospital. They tell us they believe he's going to be okay. We're waiting to hear back from the police for more details about exactly who pulled the trigger. No arrests have been made yet in that situation that happened about 4 o'clock this morning.
We're monitoring an officer-involved shooting in western Kentucky. It started as a domestic dispute in Barron County after state police say 61-year-old John Williams shot his wife in the arm. Williams and an officer exchanged gunfire.
Oscar Pistorius in a South African court for a sentencing hearing after the double amputee Olympian was convicted of murdering his girlfriend. The sentencing process is expected to last several days. The minimum sentence for murder in South Africa is 15 years in jail. It will be the second time Pistorius has been sentenced for killing Reva Steenkamp. A judge's earlier ruling that he was guilty of a lesser charge was rejected by an appeals court.
The Stanley Cup will reside in Pittsburgh. The Penguins beat the San Jose Sharks 3-1 in Game 6 of last night in San Jose to win their 4th Stanley Cup in franchise history. Fans in Pittsburgh rushed the streets last night to celebrate. A parade to celebrate the team's Stanley Cup victory will be held later this week. The hip-hop musical Hamilton took top honors at last night's Tony Awards, winning Best Musical. The show raked in 11 wins. It actually did not break the record, however, for most Tonys. That was set in 2001 by the producers. In response to the Orlando shooting, the Hamilton cast did not use muskets in its performance, but they all said the show must go on, and they didn't want to cower in the face of terrorism, which the whole point behind that is to keep you from, doing things as you would normally do.
All right, so the decision was made to carry on with some improvising last night. All right, we had a very hot weekend around these parts, hot and humid, and it looks better for today.
We need better, Micah.
We need much better, and we're going to get it today. It actually really is a nice day in store. If travel times out and about heading to Lexington, nothing really out of the ordinary. From Paris, you're roughly 15 to 20 minutes. Frankfort coming in at 26 minutes. And you see live sky camera. You have no worries stepping out the door this morning, guys. We're there in the 60s, and then we hit the afternoon 85, low humidity. So feels good, looks good.
All right. Nobody's more up to date than you to start your day. Stay with us now for CBS This Morning.
Have a great day.